Right, so today we are going to be talking about a situation where a massive company have said they're going to be taking legal action against a small business. More specifically, the massive company we're talking about here is Crumbl cookies. Now, oddly enough, this isn't the first time we've spoke about Crumbl cookies on this channel. If you remember, there was a video where we spoke about like a fake Crumbl cookies in Australia, but this one's a bit different though, because we're not talking about a fake Crumbl cookies here. We're not talking about a company being impersonated. We're talking about the real thing. So let's add some context to this situation. So there's a couple of people you need to be aware of. Of course, the first one being Crumbl Cookies, a very big cookie company at that. I mean, their TikTok account has 10.5 million followers. Now, another person you need to be aware of is Morgan Harris, who is the owner of Chase Beauty Lounge, and this is her TikTok account right here, as you can see, 40,000 followers. And recently, Morgan uploaded a video saying she is being sued by Crumbl.
My name is Morgan Harris, and I'm the owner of Chase Beauty Lounge. I'm a small business. We do lashes and brows, and I guess I'm being sued. I don't know.
So yeah, straight away, you can see she's very upset. I felt bad for her actually when I was reading the comment section because a lot of people were complaining that the video was very long and maybe it took a while to get through the story, but I mean, she's upset, right? So she was kind of like venting and talking about how she's like feeling throughout it. But as we go through the video, we hear that the company in question here is Crumbl, of course, who have recently opened a new store in her area and she wanted to kind of like support them, I guess.
Crumbl opened their first location in Tuscaloosa today, and the girls at work let me know that they were coming and they were opening, and we were excited and we were going to go buy cookies today. And I decided to call yesterday, and when we opened, like, we had a grand opening event and we had like gift cards and we had other local businesses, and like I just wanted to support them because I'm a business in town, and I'm a small business in town, and just that we were excited.
So Morgan's idea was to go to Crumbl and give them a bunch of gift cards for her business, and she goes on throughout this to say like they can kind of do what they want with them. It can just be handed out to the staff. If they want to hand them out to customers, they can. And also throughout this, Morgan says that all of these calls have been recorded because, of course, she asked the store first before actually just going over and handing a bunch of gift cards.
To give something basically to their customers. So I called yesterday and I spoke with, I guess it was a front desk, but she said she was talking to the manager, and then I spoke with the manager, and everything, all of our business calls are recorded. I have it all in recording.
And then Morgan goes on to say that the manager said yes, so she ends up going to the store to give them $110 gift cards.
And she spoke with the manager. I hear the manager in the background say yes, that would be great. And I said okay, so I'll get something made up. I gave them $110 gift cards to our business to do whatever they wanted with, and it basically just was in support. It was not enfranchising them or whatever she said that I was doing. It was not us pretending to be them. We're also not a cookie company. We're literally a salon, and we were just excited that they were in town. And
So far, it sounds like Morgan's came up with this idea. She's asked the store what they think. The manager has apparently said yes to this. It all seems like it's all going well. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's going to end up in a lawsuit here, does it? But this is where it all starts going wrong. So Morgan has handed these gift cards over to the store. Then later on, Morgan receives a call. And then this is where we hear that the owner of Crumbl is not happy in the slightest.
Anyways, today we got a phone call, and they are very aggressive, and they asked for the owner, and I obviously assumed it's like an upset client or something. And then I get on the phone and she says I'm the owner of Crumbl, and she is basically yelling at me, that basically we are trying to profit off their business, and if we have anything to do with them ever again, that they're gonna send us a cease and desist, and they're gonna take legal action against us. And then before I even got a word out to her, she basically hung up the phone.
I mean, talk about a situation escalating, right? Like, we literally went from this friendly deal where apparently both parties have agreed, and then all of a sudden it's now turned into legal threats. Now look, we are of course just hearing it from Morgan's point of view here, but if this is really how it played out, it's incredibly confusing. I mean, I can only imagine how confusing it would be for Morgan to pick up the phone and then, like, hear all of this. Now apparently, before Morgan could even say anything, they hung up, but only 5 minutes later, they then rang again.
5 minutes go by. I'm also in an appointment, and 5 minutes go by, and it's her again calling from there, I guess, and she says that that she spoke with all their managers and nobody has agreed to this. And I said, I spoke with your manager yesterday. I have it recorded. Like, I got confirmation I would never just drop stuff off to a business without speaking to somebody first, and we didn't pass them out. Like, we literally just handed them to your front desk. They were also for your, like, we just were creating a connection with a new business in town. Whether you guys are a franchise or not, you're a new business here locally, and you just had another business trying to support you locally, and it was no ill intent. It was not whatever. I get that it's advertising, but we were supporting you guys, like, and we were given, whether it's even your employees, even your girls that work up there, like, just something from us to say welcome. But before I even got any word of that out, she just said that they're going to take legal action against us, and she hung up the phone.
Yeah, I'm really confused as to why they're so angry about it. I mean, it'd be very different if, like, Morgan, for example, went over to Crumbl and then was just, like, going through the queue that people, like, who were lining up to go into Crumbl and just handing them gift cards, you know, to, like, promote her business. But from what we're hearing in this story, apparently these gift cards were just handed to a member of staff to do whatever they wanted with them. And if the owner didn't want anything to do with them, they could have just thrown them away, right? But either way, regardless of if they wanted the gift cards or not, like, how does it result in legal threats? That's a bit I'm very confused about. Especially because, as we're hearing Morgan saying throughout this, it's not like Morgan owns a cookie company, right? It's not a competitor. It's a salon. It couldn't be further apart. I don't know, it's very confusing. Like, if you listen to this story about the context of it just being handed to, like, a member of staff, you would automatically think, like, handing out to customers, putting a massive poster on the window of the store, like, that's what you would expect. But apparently nothing like that ever happened. But look, it's very obvious throughout this video, Morgan is very upset. She mentions a few times throughout it, like, is there any way I can get in contact with Crumbl? Does anyone know how to get in contact with someone high up at Crumbl? And clearly she just wants to solve this situation without it being taken to court. And as you expect, after this video is posted, on the Crumbl social medias, the comment section is just filled with comments about this. So bear in mind, these are comments on Crumbl's newest video that has nothing to do with the situation. Are you guys going to address the Tuscaloosa situation? Won't be buying till my girl Morgan gets an apology because what? No more Crumbl until the issue is resolved in Tuscaloosa. Here cause you're suing that lady. You need to fire that Tuscaloosa county franchise owner immediately. That poor lady did nothing wrong, and that franchise owner is a face to Crumbl, and I will not be supporting a company that behaves in such manner. Now, whoever's running the Crumbl account were replying to a lot of these comments, but they were very similar replies that didn't really mean too much. I mean, this is the reply here that they basically sent to each person who's commenting. Thanks for reaching out regarding this situation. We've been in contact and are continuing to communicate with them to get this situation resolved. So they're not really giving much away. They're just saying, like, we're aware of the situation, we're figuring it out. And it turns out Morgan uploading this video has seemed to work, because Morgan has since uploaded an update video where she says that she has been in contact with Crumbl and they are no longer taking legal action.
First and foremost, I want to say that Crumbl has contacted me. They have spoken with me, and they were kind. They were very nice, and they are not taking legal action against me. So I'm so glad to hear that. That was my biggest concern, and that's why I was so upset in the first place, because I did not want bad blood with them at all. And I was in support of the company, so I, of course, did not want any legal action taken, and that's not what they're doing. That's not what corporate is doing or headquarters are doing.
So yeah, we obviously don't know if this would have been the outcome if Morgan didn't upload the video and everything was just being handled behind the scenes. Maybe it would be the same outcome, maybe it would be different. But I think one thing that's interesting here is that we have seen in a lot of topics that we've spoke about, specifically topics where people are having some dispute with, like, a big company. Usually in these situations, once a video is uploaded by a smaller company and the videos blew up and now the bigger company is facing a lot of backlash, the situation gets resolved very quickly. Which, of course, is not how it should work, right? It shouldn't take having to upload a video calling out a big company for it to be resolved. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, it seems like the most effective way. Now, Morgan goes on to say that she won't be showing the recordings for the phone calls. Obviously, a lot of people were asking to hear the recordings. And I mean, I don't blame her at this point, right? She got threatened with legal action from a massive company, and now it's being dropped. You probably don't want to do anything to piss them off further.
I'm not going to be posting the recordings. Yes, I do have them. And yes, I have things that I can show. That's not the kind of person that I am. And most importantly, I don't want to get the workers that I spoke with in trouble either at their place of work. That's not my intention. They say their name in the recordings. I'll speak with corporate. I'm not going to do that online.
Now, Morgan goes into more details of how the situation was resolved, and apparently the franchise owners actually came into the salon that Morgan owns, but Morgan wasn't there, and she was also advised not to speak to them after the phone call.
The franchise owners, I believe, came in to my salon today. I was at a baby birthday party. I was not there. And they did come in to speak with me. They did try to contact me, but I was advised not to speak with them, and I did want to speak with corporate because I had already spoke with them before, from what I believe. And it obviously didn't go well and was ugly, and I just did not feel comfortable speaking to them again.
Now, this is where we go on to hear more about the phone call that we heard about in the last video. Morgan goes on to say that she believes it was the owner's personal number.
The calls originally, and the calls that were aggressive and threatening and that they were going to take action against me, came from not Crumbl's, their work phone. It came from a personal phone, and the caller ID was on. So I have the calls that were recorded. I have the caller ID, and I know that now to be traced back to the owners, the wife. And I do know that 100%, that the caller ID was to her name.
So yeah, you can hear Morgan saying it's 100% confirmed that this is the case, which is even more confusing, right? Because we're hearing that the owners rang up on her personal phone, not like her business number. So it seems like the person who did make the call was just very angry about this situation, so much so that they picked up their own phone and wanted to voice their frustration to Morgan. And again, from the story that we're hearing in this video, I'm confused how it got to that point. Now, it's worth noting that Morgan goes on to say that they are denying that it was like the owner who rang up on their personal phone. Again, Morgan saying it 100% was.
In the messages that I got late last night, it was basically not that. It was saying, hey, this was someone else, this wasn't me, and did not take accountability. And then that's also why when they came in today, I didn't want to speak, because I got those messages. And then I was given a phone number to call. At first I was responsive when I got the messages last night. I said, if this is you, because I didn't believe it was a real account, if this is you, if you could give me your number, because I was going to try to match the numbers. Well, then when we looked up the number that was given, it was to the husband. So it was given a separate number to, I guess, try to throw me off. I don't know.
Now, Morgan does say throughout this video that this shouldn't be like a bad representation of the company as a whole. It's a bad representation of the one person who made the call.
I truly believe this is just a bad representation of one person badly representing them. And I hate that it has all had to happen like this, because we all have families that we are trying to take care of. And I just don't think it had to happen how it happened. But I do appreciate them reaching out. I'm glad I'm in a better state of mind today, and I'm not so upset, and I have a little ease of how things are going. And most importantly, I want to thank the community and the businesses around town that have shown me so much love and support and kind messages, and they've had my back, and that is exactly what community is about. And again, I've worked 8 years in Tuscaloosa and with clients and businesses, and that's all my intention ever was. And it's all marketing, we're all advertising, and we're all trying to support each other, and that's all that I was ever trying to do. And I hate that it had to come off this way.
So yeah, it seems like the situation has been resolved, thankfully, and it's not going to end up in a big lawsuit, which I can't imagine how stressful that would be. Now, the Crumbl account has actually commented in this video saying, enjoyed talking to you, looking forward to resolving this, we appreciate your support. So it really does look like they have completely backed away from these lawsuit threats and whatever else, right? Which it is good. It's obviously wild that it even became this situation in the first place, but look, it's resolved, I guess. So I assume this is going to be the last of the updates that we get on this situation in particular. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new. If you're interested in some other content, me and Emily have a channel where we play games, react to reality shows, stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that, that's always linked in the description. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.